Hello, everyone. I found myself very excited to talk on various subjects, and I was so eager to share it with you guys. And but then there were topics which were a bit difficult to speak of if I do not. Rather speak first of the context of what how to put everything together. And the context would be spirituality. And yeah, it's something that I would like to share with you all, and talk about what it really means to be spiritual, or to access that side of yourself. So how does it actually start? How does one um, walk on a spiritual path, or when does one say I'm spiritual? And only when one ends the seeking, then one becomes spiritual. So that is the first difference. And it's quite a relief to know that, because spiritual, I mean, it's a personal opinion. When I say right now that I'm spiritual, it sort of gives me a sense of um, mm, walking toward something. There's no search, but rather a space where you're content, and you've rested. But when I say seeking, there's a sense of asking. There's a sense of wanting to know, wanting to reach somewhere. That's why we see seeking. You're seeking for something. So that's the difference. So my seeking. So this individual Swarna's seeking started very young, without even knowing it. So I started asking questions, and usually the seekers, they have a lot of questions. It might appear as if you are not really happy with life, so a lot of people might look at you and ask, why are you so not happy about life, or what are you really seeking? But only a seeker knows what is in their heart, and only a seeker can understand that aspect. So my journey as a seeker started really young, and being a seeker requires tremendous courage, I think. And if one is born a seeker, they are born with this courage to seek, a courage to ask questions, uh, the courage to ask the belief systems and dogmas and conditioning. Um, so I started it really young. I mean, I was born with it. I went for my first 10 days of Vipassana course when I was 16. So it was, and my grandparents used to do Vipassana, so it was not an unusual thing for anybody to go to these 10 days retreats in my family. So it was very easy for me to land there. So having spent years in the Vipassana practices, and then also changed the style of Vipassana practices, and I remember abruptly stopping it because I was never happy with it. I never got my answers through it, but there was something that was profound in the teaching. So it kept me going to the point after I stopped it. It was not of any use after a certain point. For me, it was a personal. It's a personal thing. So so from that I can say that it's very important to know what your path is as a seeker. So there are various paths that are present in the world to seek. And of course, unless you don't really walk on a particular path, you don't know exactly what to do. So no one is really going to come to you and say, okay, this is your path. It's for your own self to realize that it matches your temperament, it matches your conditioning, it matches what you are looking for. The answers are received through this path. So what am I really talking about? Okay, so the paths, I can give you a few examples. Like there are paths people walk on. There's Buddhist path, so people who get aligned with the Buddhist way of thinking, the Buddhist way of their lifestyle, their philosophy, their practices, then one would walk in a Buddhist path. So there is a tantric path, people who connect with the philosophy of it, the practices of it. Then you would walk in a tantric path. There are energetic path, if you are connecting more with the energies, and you connect with your temperament and you're attracted toward that, then you walk in a tantric path. And there's royal path, if you're more connected with the knowledge, the direct path of knowing, and if you get attracted to that, then that is that which is there. So there are various ways of walking in the path. So why is path important? Like, I never knew this when I started. I never knew about paths at all. All I knew was Vipassana, and something I got attracted toward it, and I surrendered to it for years. That was what I did. So I was a Vipassana practitioner, and I gained a tremendous amount of centering, a tremendous amount of knowledge, and my awareness sharpened because of the practice. So there's always something that you gain out of joining one path. So why is path important? Path is important because it gives you a way to reach where you want to reach. So, for example, like if you want to go to a certain city in the physical world, you would need to know the route to that place, whether you need to take a train, bus, a road, a vehicle, anything. So through that medium, you would reach the destination. Otherwise, how would you reach the destination? It's as simple as that. So path is a way to reach there. Now, where are you heading? I mean, I didn't know where I was heading when I started it. It was as simple as I got attracted to it. I wanted to be quiet. I was not really happy with the world, and I was like, okay, Vipassana, 10 days, quiet, great, I am good with this. And I just did it. So I didn't know where I was heading at all. And not necessarily everybody should know or have to know. So if you are a seeker, what is the definition of seeker? So a seeker is that who has a lot of questions in their heart about the life, about who you are, about what is happening, what is the purpose of life, what am I here for, what am I doing, why am I not really happy with everything that I do. So these fundamental questions would arise in your heart, and it can happen any time in your life. It's not designated to age and time. So the queries usually would start or give birth to a seeker. So there would be a tremendous amount of curiosity toward these questions and to receive answers, and answers that would satisfy you. So when these questions arises in you, you become a seeker to receive the answers for these questions. And the way you choose so your questions would be answered is your path. It's very simple. So whichever and it would just happen. Like as you seek, as you start asking questions, the answers would come. And how would it come? Is it a miracle? No, it's as simple as other things in the world. Like if you want to eat something, you would search for it. Where can I find that food? If you want to wear something, where can I find that clothes? If you want to be somewhere, how can I get there? So it just, as you ask, you would find the way. It's very simple. And that's also the reason why it is so important to ask. Because if the question arises, that means the answer is there. So if you are a seeker, and if you found a way through which your questions, your queries are met and answered, that means that is your path for that phase. And it doesn't mean that you have to walk in the same path all your life, because you evolve through a path. You grow through the path. More questions would arise in your life, which probably the path that you've been walking will not satisfy you. Not necessarily that it doesn't have an answer, but it might not give the kind or the way it answers to the questions that you're asking, and it doesn't satisfy you. So then you search again and find a place or a way through which you are satisfied, which makes sense to you. So that is the path. Path is a way your queries are satisfiedly met. So I didn't know this, that I was a seeker, nor did I know that anything like path existed. And more so, I never knew that gurus are real. So that is the most crux of walking in a spiritual path and being a seeker. I knew that there were gurus. I always heard of them. Even in Vipassana, there's a Goenka Guruji who's the main guru, and there are many teachers around. In any spiritual path, there are gurus. You can see them in YouTube these days, everywhere. And I acknowledge them, but I never thought I personally would need a guru. It was not even, I never even gave it a thought. I never gave it a thought. It was just not existing for me. So I just did whatever, and you also have a sense that, you know it all because you have gained a lot of information about the world and you can do it. Why do you need anyone? And also the notion that you're independent, you're self-sufficient, you can do what you need to do. And you are a grown-up now. Why do you need anyone to teach you anything? You need teachers only till you're in a uni. Or, all these belief systems are there. Which is funny when I look back now. I don't know how why I never thought I would need a guru. And why would you need a guru? That's $1 million question. Guru is someone who has been through what which you are going through already. He has experienced everything that you are going through and reached a place where he's experientially realized something which you have not. So he is the way for you. He's a person who can show you the way So that is a guru. All right. So why would you need one? Because you don't know the way. It's as simple as that. If you'd have known the way, then you would not be a seeker. You'd have reached there and you've ended your seeking, and then you'd have realized all the answers, and that would be it. It would be very easy. But it's not as easy as that, isn't it? I mean, if you're a seeker, you know what I'm talking about. It's a huge thing, because one struggles to walk in this path. You come across many hurdles. I have many times just wanted to quit it. I said, that's it. This is a dead end. I am done. And I'm out of here. Let me just live a worldly life. But it sort of just never happened for me. I was pulled back again and again and again to the same place where I ended it. And I had to restart it all over again. But thankfully, with the grace of gurus, I had the same intensity and same amount of query and rather more intense than before, which pulled me again to the next step in my life. So guru would make your way very easy. Once you meet your guru, it will be his responsibility to take you all the way, because that's what he's there for. He's not there, or he's not become what he's become, walking in a spiritual path to enjoy worldly life. He's become what he's become for you, to meet other seekers, to help other seekers, to walk the path, and to show where you're heading, what are the hurdles, how you have to be. He can never reach you. He can never take you to the destination. You have to walk the path, but he can point it. You need pointers. You need maps to reach the destination. You can't just blindly walk. Even if you're blind, you need somebody's help who can hold you. And Guru is someone who can hold you compassionately all the way. Yes, and he'll make you independent. And that's the grace of the Guru. And so you'll be lucky if you find one. I'm cheering because it's very, very emotional. Okay. So you need to have a guru, and meeting a guru is like is you have to give yourself up when you meet one. That's for sure. Because actually, I don't think a lot of people know what walking in a spiritual path really means. I don't think a lot of people know what spirituality really means. I don't think a lot of people know what you're seeking. I don't think I knew what I was seeking. Though I had questions, I didn't know what the answers would mean, or what. Okay, I get an answers to all the questions, then what would that do to me? I didn't know that. I mean, I had no clue. So when you meet a guru, he'll give you a clue what it really means. So that would be transcendental experience. That'll transform your whole life, and it'll probably very something that you would not expect, because you would come all the way, you've walked all the path, and you've given your whole everything, years of practices of everything that you've done, and you reach a point and you reach an edge where you're like done, and you meet a guru, and the guru will say, guru will say, now surrender, give everything that you've got to give. Just give it all up. And you don't have any choice. If you're a true seeker, you do not have a choice. There is nothing else that you would want. And that want is a desire for knowledge. That is the desire that the seeker has, is a desire for knowledge. And for that, you give everything up. The knowledge of the self. And for that, you give everything up. And that is the ultimate and the last place for the seeker, is a knowledge of yourself. And that's it. And then you reach the destination. So why is Guru important? You cannot reach that space unless you meet one. You cannot do it yourself. Why you can't do it yourself? Because you exist. And Guru will demolish you. That sounds scary, I know. It is quite scary. So it needs a lot of courage. You have to take that jump. And who is surrendering? Surrendering is done by this individual self. You have to surrender your ego. You have to surrender this individuality. And when that, it's just that little fear that exists to take a jump. But once you take the jump, once you surrender, that's it. There's nothing else to give up. Everything is yours. And that's the beauty of it. That's, coming back to why you can't do it without a guru, is because you're caught up in yourself. It is you as the individual self who is trying to be spiritual, who is trying to be enlightened, rather, right? Like you are trying to be enlightened, and this individual entity, you, can never be enlightened, and so you need someone who is not operating from the individual self. Because till you are an individual entity, you can never take that leap. So only someone who is outside that can show you how to jump, show you the direction. Because you cannot, you can't, because you've never known. You've never known that. You've never experienced that. You've never had a direct knowledge of that. The reason I'm emotional, I was emotional, is because it takes everything out of you. It's your whole being, your whole life, your whole self is involved in the process. It is not something that you do and you come back home and eat your food, or you get back to your normal lifestyle. It is your entirety that is surrendered, or that is transformed in this process, and you just give it up because you don't have any other choice. You don't, because you've been a seeker all your life. You have nothing more than that, and you've reached a final destination. What are you going to do? Are you going to go back? Or are you going to just take that leap and take a chance and see what is there? And it can't be that bad, right? Your inspiration has been saints, gurus. Who did you look up to become a seeker? Salvation, enlightenment. It can't be that bad. But to just take that little leap, that jump in the unknown, that, if you cross that, if you do it, it's done. It's just gone, like, as if it never existed. And then then you walk a spiritual path. Then you've reached a spirituality. Then you become a spiritual. Then you end your seeking. Yes, but till then, you're a seeker. Till then, you're a seeker. So ask me questions if you have any. And keep on seeking. Keep on seeking. It's a beautiful journey and a beautiful destination to know who you are, to know your true nature. And I'm not saying it's an easy path. I am not saying there are no hurdles. There are a lot of hurdles because you are on the way to transform. You are transforming in each and every step. It's like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It's not easy. But once you become a butterfly, the freedom and beauty. Realize that, aspire to that, and just walk. You are courageous to walk in the path. It's beautiful, and it needs tremendous courage to walk. Thank you.